Live. I was on transit, so I couldn't be live when I needed to be live. How are you guys doing? You see me? You can hear me? Please let me know in the comment section. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Please do let me know. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Sorry, I have to hold my today. Like the show was going right, so so yes, we are here. Thank you for joining. So today we'll be talking about. Thank you, thank you, because Chagoze, my chief, for joining in. Well, so some of us don't actually know intro, right? Thank you for joining today's episode of Going to the Week. We're talking about the pressure to become. You all know that I'm all about growth, becoming a better version of yourself, you know. But the truth is that sometimes you find yourself in a space where you're growing. Yes, you're doing the things you need to do, you're becoming better. But you start to hate. But when you, in retrospect, when you think about it, you realize that you hate who you are, right? Right? Have you ever felt like that? That the pressure to become better, become the best is actually making you feel like the version of yourself that you are is not good enough. So in this episode, we're going to talk about how to pursue a better life without constantly feeling that the version that you are today is not enough. Because that's a space that, in our quest to become better, we somehow find ourselves there without actually knowing that we are there. Now, the question I want to ask you today is, are you growing because you believe in your own potential? That's a very important question to ask yourself. Why are you doing this? Is it because you believe that you can, there's more, you can be better, you're doing it for yourself? Or are you in the space where you're constantly trying to improve yourself because deep down you believe that you're not enough? Now, I want you to know these two questions because it's very important for you to, because it will determine whether you are going to be better, whether you're going to feel strange in your journey to becoming or not. Now, the truth is that there's a difference. One is rooted in growth, rooted in hope, while the other is rooted in rejecting who you currently are, and wearing out because you're just being ambitious, not because you believe that there's a better place you're supposed to be. So which is it? Which is it? Now, it's just that we are living in an age where there's always a push to constantly improve yourself. If you go to social media, you scroll everywhere you look, there is a message about, telling you to become more. If it's not, become healthier, eat healthy, or how to become richer, you're not where you are supposed to be. We see those messages everywhere. Say, you're wasting your time, you're scrolling everywhere, be more productive, build a business, you can do this, with all those motivational things that we see, heal your trauma, different things, have better skin. We are in that space where we are bombarded with the need to be better in different aspects of our lives. The truth is that none of these things are wrong. Yeah? But let me ask you, when does self-improvement become like you're, constantly telling yourself that who you are right now is not good enough? It's a dicey thing, dicey place to be. You're feeling like until I can be accepted, or until I can show up, there's something missing, so I have to be that thing before I can find myself in a certain space. The truth is that I personally believe in becoming, that's what I preach, becoming a better version of yourself, but not at the cost of your own peace. Please with me, right? So I believe that we should all, strive to become more disciplined. I believe that we should keep learning, reading books. I believe that we should show up more confident than we actually are. I believe that, we should become more capable and do the best possible for ourselves, and also become intentional. But the truth is that growth should add to your life, not feel like stress. Not make you feel like you are perpetually chasing something, or like you're perpetually failing as a human being. Yeah, you can want more for your life and still be grateful for who you are or who you are becoming, and still be grateful for the journey to where you want to go. You can pursue excellence without hating or despising where you're starting from. So if you if you're getting value, please let me know in the comment section. So the truth is that when self-improvement becomes self-rejection, that's where the problem is. When you're growing healthily, it says, I want to take care of my body, for example, because I value my health, I love myself enough, I want to be there for my children, I want to be able to run around, play with my children. But when you're doing it out of self-rejection, what you're saying to yourself is, I hate my body, for example, if we're talking about losing weight, so I must change it. So you see, the motivation is different, the reasons are different. When you're talking about growing, becoming better, healthy growth will say something like, I want to improve my finances and create more opportunities for myself. But when you're doing it from self-rejection, it will say to you, I'm a failure, so I need to earn more to be accepted in a certain space. So the truth is that the goal to become a may look the same, but the motivation, the reason why you want to do it can be it can be completely different. It can be why it may feel like burnout, make you burn out instead of making you better. Are you in the space where you're always trying to fix something about yourself? You tell yourself, oh, I'm going to do this when my skin improves, when my body, when I'm now slim, when my body improve, when I get more money, I'm going to. That's you keep you because you are rejecting yourself. You're just looking at the end goal. You're not giving yourself grace during the journey. So the problem is that even after you finish achieving one goal, there's always something else that you feel like that is going to pop up, a fault that you're going to see in yourself that you need to fix before you feel like you have gotten there. So that's the difference between becoming because you just love yourself and you want to become, and becoming because you feel like you never reach. Let me say it in that way. The truth is that growth is a journey. It was never meant to become a permanent war against ourselves. It was meant to make us feel better. Now, another space that some of us may find ourselves is, comparing. Social media usually gives us a front seat to everybody's life. That's the fake version that they give us, the good parts that they show us. So you see someone else is successful, maybe their business, their home, the way their skin is, the way they show up, what they show you, their wardrobe, and suddenly your life looks as if it's smaller. So it's a terrible place to be. It's a terrible measuring stick for your own life because you are comparing, with what somebody has edited. And it's easy for us to fall into that gap, honestly. Now, the truth is that when you see other people growing, if you ever find yourself in the space where you start to feel bad about yourself, that's the wrong place to be. When you see other people growing, what you should be telling yourself is that it should actually inspire you. It shouldn't become an evidence that you are not doing well. That's one of the things that can make your journey to becoming feel as if it's a punishment. Allow yourself to be a work in progress. You can be a work in progress and still be worthy. You don't have to have finished getting to where you want to be. You don't have to have finished healing before you deserve to be happy. You don't have to have reached a point of financial freedom before you deserve to feel confident. You don't have to, have gotten to a place of perfection. True that there's nothing like perfection. If you look at your life, if you look back, There are times when there are things that you felt were perfect 5 years ago, that when you look at them now, you're like, nah, that's not perfect, So, so the truth is that there's no end place, there's no perfect place. You don't have to become the final version of yourself before you can appreciate where you are now. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to be grateful at the same time as you grow. Now, what's the difference between I'll refer to it as escapism, growth and escapism. Escapism is what I've been trying to define since, where you want to get to, your reason to getting to where you want to get to is because you don't feel worthy enough. Sometimes we are not, improving because we have a vision. Sometimes we don't decide to improve because we are trying to, we decide to improve because we are trying to escape a discomfort that we have in ourselves. We keep on chasing more degrees, more achievements, so that we don't have to deal with the insecurities that we have. That's not a good place to be. We keep on chasing the next goal because success is temporary, and then it makes us feel worthy at the time, but after it fades, we want the next thing. Which is that no achievement can permanently heal the problem that you have with your identity. So you can accomplish a lot and still not believe you are enough. So ask yourself today, why do I want to become? What am I really chasing? What do I believe that this achievement I want to have will give me? Will this thing, is it that I feel like it will finally make me worthy when I get there? Do you feel like that achievement will finally make you confident? Maybe when you lose weight, when you look different, when you do something different, do you feel like it will finally make you feel successful? Or when you earn more, you can, stand in different circles. So that is your reason for doing it. Ask yourself, am I pursuing this version, this vision out of fear? So these are important questions that you need to ask yourself. The truth is that goals are good. That's what we preach. But when we expect external achievements to heal our internal wounds, then that's where there's a problem. Because we can spend our life chasing something. Because the truth is that no achievement was designed to give us that fulfillment that we need. So you can care for yourself without, hating yourself. The pressure comes when you're hating yourself. Taking care of your skin, for example, should not mean you hate your face. Yes, I'm taking care of it because, I love myself and I want my skin to glow. I exercise because it's good for me. I'm not exercising only because I want to lose weight to be able to get something. I'm exercising because it is good for me. I need to be healthy. I'm doing it for myself. But while I'm doing it, I love myself the way I am on my journey to where I want to become. I dress well to school because, not because I'm ashamed, because I know that that's what I should be doing. That should be the reason, because of love for yourself, not because you hate yourself. That should not be your motivation. So as a dermatologist, and a confidence advocate, I believe that caring for your skin is an act of intention, not a punishment. So whenever your skincare routine starts feeling like a punishment, then that's when it's wahala. It's okay to seek treatment for, things like acne, pigmentation, but if you believe that once you get that, it will determine how people look at you or your words, then that's where the problem lies. Confidence doesn't wait for perfection. Confidence is learning to show up and care for yourself and refuse to reduce your whole identity to one area, that you're working on. So you do not need to earn the right to rest. That's just true. The truth, that rest is not proof that you are lazy. you don't have to pursue everything at the same time. Pick one thing at a time and do it because of you, not because you want to prove something. You want to choose something. Pick that goal and the truth is that if the reason is not something that is going to benefit you, if the reason is not because if once the reason is negative, if you tell yourself the truth, then it's going to strain you. So have that at the back of your mind. It's important that you're intentional. Yes, I want you to be disciplined. Yes, I want you to build your life, the life you want, but leave room to breathe. Extend grace to yourself. A life that looks successful but leaves you constantly dejected is not necessary. That's just the truth. If the life that you imagine makes you feel walk on eggshells or makes you feel tired and exhausted, then there's something wrong behind the reason. So when we talk about healthy ambition, what does it really look like? Simple. I have goals, but my worth is not hanging on them. Yes, I have goals, but I know my worth it's not hinged on that ambition. You tell yourself, I want to improve, but I do not have to despise myself while I do it and punish myself when you're on your road to improvement. Some things are going to be off. Some things are not going to go. There are some days that are not going to go the way you thought they should go, but it's okay. It's okay. Whenever your improvement starts to feel like punishment, then that is where the problem lies. You can tell yourself, I can be disciplined without becoming cruel to myself. When let's say you miss a day of exercise and then you are sad, you're punishing yourself for that one missed day because of something. So you can tell yourself, I can learn from my mistakes without turning them into my identity. So these are important things that you should be aware of, and that is what healthy ambition looks like. When you're ambitious healthily, you know that you can want more without believing that you are nothing if you don't get that thing. Ambition with peace, growth with gratitude, and excellence with self-respect. That is the goal. That is what you want. Your identity must be bigger than the achievements that you feel that you need. When you attach your identity to achievements, when you win and you feel like you are valuable because you won, when you feel like you're worthless, that's you giving too much power to an outcome, and that's where you burn. You are more than your productivity. You are more than how much you earn. You are more than the qualifications you have. Those things don't define you. You're more than the way you show up, the way you look. You're more than the latest success that you had or failure. I encourage you to build a life, but do not lose yourself while you build it. Very important. It's very easy to do that. Now how do we grow without hating ourselves? Ask yourself, what is my why? Why am I trying to do this thing? Is it because I have a vision, or is it because I'm afraid of where I am currently? Number 2, stop using shame as motivation. Don't say, I'm so ugly, so I need to do this. And people say I'm ugly, something like that. Set goals that are meaningful, not for performance, not for what will people see, not for comparison. Number 3, number 4, celebrate your progress. Before you get to the finish line. So you want to, for example, you want to lose weight. You did exercise for 3 times a week consistently. You celebrate it. Yes, you're not getting to where you are, but you're on the journey. You want to start showing up on social media. You're able to do 2 videos in a week or in 2 weeks consistently. You have not gotten to doing 5 videos a week, but you did 1. Yes, kudos. You started the journey. You understand? So make room to rest. Sometimes we are chasing so many things that we get burnt out, and we don't even realize. We start to hate that thing that we want to achieve because we feel like it's taking all our time. It's not letting us, spend time with family. We lose ourselves when we are chasing perfection, right? Remember that consistency is not constant intensity. So you can be consistent, yeah, but it doesn't mean that it has to. The important thing is, did you do it or did you not do it? You may not show up the same way every day, but you showed up. So today you may have showed up for 5 minutes, but this you have the energy to. You showed up for 1 hour. You did that thing for 1 hour. The important thing is that you did it, right? You did it, right? That's what counts. Always talk to yourself, like someone you are responsible for helping grow. Don't Some of us have this negative talk that we always give ourselves, we always bring ourselves down, we always say something bad to ourselves and all. We are quick to praise other people, but we bring ourselves down. Be kind to yourself. Extend grace. I like to say that. Now, for this week, our practical reset for this week, choose one area in your life that you want to improve. Ask yourself and write it down. What am I working towards? Why does this matter to me? Then ask yourself, can I pursue this goal from love rather than fear? Your goal should not become another weapon you use against yourself. It should be something that should grow you. So, affirmations for the week. Now say with me, I am allowed to grow without hating who I am today. I do not have to earn my worth through achievements, right? I can be ambitious and still be at peace. My progress matters even when it's not perfect. Yes, I will not use comparison as proof that I am behind. At all, at all. I care for my body, mind, and skin from love, not shame. I release the pressure to fix everything at once. Small, consistent actions can transform my life. I am becoming, but I am not waiting to become worthy. I choose growth, gratitude, and peace. Now, this week I challenge you, stop moving the finish line. Sometimes we achieve what we once prayed for and immediately move on to the next thing. And we forget that where we are currently is something that we hoped for in the past. This week, pause. Look at what has already changed in your life. Look at what you have survived, what you've overcome. Look at what you have learned, and look at the person you are becoming, and celebrate yourself before you start to set the next goal. Yes, the message is grow, learn, build, heal, improve, and dream bigger, and become more capable. But do not make growth another reason to reject yourself. Yeah? You do not need to become somebody else to deserve confidence. You do not need to fix everything about yourself to be valuable. Grow, not because you hate who you are. Grow because you believe in what is possible for you. Thank you for joining me today. I am Dr. Chimsom, your skin and confidence doctor. I help you grow truly from inside out. See you same time next week. Bye-bye and have a wonderful, wonderful